So I'm Festi Edwards, and my company is called Purposeful People. And we do employment services for adults and students, primarily with disabilities. But we do venture out and we really are committed to employment for all. And so, you know, we know that people learn on the job, that we know that people learn to become job coaches or employment specialists, sometimes HR professionals. Our apprenticeship is, I think the title and job description is career development technician. And we do see a lot of on-the-job learning, but not necessarily something that's formalized into an apprenticeship. People are prepared to work, and they're prepared to work hard and prepared to learn. There's a lot of information that goes into knowing what to do. And so sometimes I tell people, especially new to the profession, is that, my job is to know things. So we need to know community-based resources. We need to network with employers. We need to know the rules for voc rehab. We need to know the rules for other programs, how to access social services, and then, ideas about job accommodations or how to access, even just how to access that information. And then one of the challenging aspects also of what we do is that we use a lot of technology. So we're interacting with Microsoft Office, and we're interacting with Google Suite, and we have people who have assistive technology that is increasingly more complex. We value quality work. And so we have some pretty high standards of what we want our work to look like. And so if somebody just comes to me fresh, especially coming out of maybe different occupations, then we can train them the way that we want. So they develop good habits of being professional and those quality control things.
Why do you think apprenticeships are important for our future as a community?
Something that we're seeing, especially right now, when I put out some job notices, is that we have a lot of people who need to change professions here in Casper. So we have a shift, not just from COVID, but also oil field and energy sector jobs. And so a lot of people are shifting jobs. We recently hired someone who is coming out of oil field and trucking. And I saw a lot of applications like that from industry that is right now in a really rough spot. And so I think that's especially important for Wyoming. Also with youth, it's a job that can pay at a pretty decent rate. And it's a job that they can learn on the job, so they can be paid while they're learning and not have to go to college. But it can help keep some of our youth here in Casper and in Wyoming.
Great. Do you think that there's overlap from, say, the main industries that we have here and the type of apprenticeship that you have to offer in terms of skill level, or maybe some things that folks can transfer over to your apprenticeship?
Right. So when we were advertising, we were reaching out to people like people who have customer service. So we would sometimes really like to hire people from the service industry. So people who are working that sales job at the mall, or people who are working in restaurants, and we can offer them more dollars, of course, but more opportunity than to take their skills of customer service and do something where they're serving people. And so that fits really, really well. So sometimes working in this industry, it's a good side job also. So we have different hours that people need to be available. And so we have some after school opportunities for people in that, that 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock time frame. And so if we have somebody who's working as a teacher or an aide in a school, or is working in maybe a daycare, those people have those right kinds of human service interests. And this makes a really great side gig. You know, we have everybody I know works 2 or 3 jobs, right? Everybody does the side gig. So this also makes a pretty good side gig, but it still takes that same level of training.
So what would you say to somebody who is interested in looking at all the career opportunities, maybe like an 18-year-old just graduating from high school, you know, what would you say to them about your apprenticeship opportunity?
I would let them know that it's worth trying out. So if, let's say, and really, if they're young, if they're coming out of, and even if they're changing careers, I would probably talk to them about what they look at in terms of their goals for their life. This fits really well into larger goals. So, for example, if I wanted to be a counselor or a teacher, or if I wanted to be a business specialist with workforce, or if I wanted to be a voc rehab counselor, this is a really good entry into that career path. And that you would combine that with education. What's nice is we can personally, with our company, with Purposeful People, we can be super flexible, and we're happy to be flexible with people's education. And if you want to come to work for Purposeful People, I can write one heck of a referral letter. So,
awesome. Awesome.
There's value in that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think is the value of mentorship, or where does that fit into the whole apprenticeship situation?
Well, it takes, one of the things that I do in my life, I appreciate that you asked that question, because I've had a pretty long career. And so what I do now is work on mentorship with people who need to be in our business, people who need to be working with people with disabilities, or people who need to be working in that human service occupation. And I think that it's important for people with that kind of experience to be reaching out to youth, or people who are changing careers, or maybe somebody who is just, kind of shifting within that human service field, that we can extend those lifelines to people. And then I would recommend for any youth or person changing careers, especially, to reach out to people they know and actually do the ask and say, can you mentor me? I'm interested in making this career shift, and I want to do the best that I can. And, I'm always concerned about time and efficiency. So we want to do that as efficiently as possible. And people with that knowledge can share, things that worked, and sometimes things that don't work. But do ask. I would tell people, ask.
Love that. Is there anything in particular that you want to share about your apprenticeship opportunity?
We're always looking for employees who are interested. For us, it's more important for people to have, a heart for the business, and enthusiasm, and a willingness to try. The training part we can take care of through apprenticeship or, other means. So if you don't have you look at the job description and you say, gosh, I don't know how to be an employment specialist. That's okay if you want to be an employment specialist. I would also refer people back to workforce. I'm really hoping to catch somebody along the way, maybe a youth coming in that has lacked opportunity in the past, or has some challenges and barriers to employment. And we can be pretty flexible. So I would be referring people back to you to check on your programs, and hopefully you've presented some of the opportunities that you have available for people with barriers to employment.
Thank you, Festi, so much for everything that you do for your clients and for the community. And I hope to talk to you real soon.
Bye.